When the ship goes down, you better be ready. It's a beautiful morning out there, it really is. That's why I've had to move this thing from where I normally do this thing to here, because the light behind me was um, obscuring my beautiful face. Anyway, it was like some kind of apparition talking to you. So anyway, yeah, you could have, obviously, you would have preferred that, but here I am. And I've been, just before the birds start nesting, um, I've been cutting down a hedge that was planted in 1983, I think, or four, sometime like that, by me. And it hasn't been maintained ever since. And I can't get, there's a fence running along, you're loving this, aren't you? There's a fence running along with it, and some of the fence posts need renewing. And I can't actually do that job with all the huge hawthorn hedge in the way. So I've been cutting it down, lacerating my hands. Yeah, it doesn't come up very well on camera, but anyway. And face, and probably parts of my body I haven't explored yet. But thoroughly enjoying myself on a beautiful day like this. I thought I wouldn't like to be anywhere else. I don't want to be anywhere else. This is it. But while I'm doing this kind of mundane job, you don't really have to think very much about it. Just where this is going to fall and is it on my face, that sort of thing. Um, Recently, I've been with people who believe in the spinning ball, and one in particular, he just said something that sparked my imagination, which was that he thinks, or he believes anyway, that aliens have, visited us here now, and they're on their way or something. And I just thought, wow, that is just what some people have been talking about recently: the imminent alien invasion. Of course, it's just going to be a staged event if it does come to pass. Staged event. Holograms in the sky, how they can do that now, project images in the sky that look like they are really there. Amazing, great technology. Why don't we use that for entertainment? Or, well, people do, yeah. Been to the recent outdoor, maybe not recent as in the last 2 years, but just before that, I've seen images anyway that I thought, wow, that's incredible. Like a festival, and there's things going on up in the sky that look incredibly real. Anyway, so okay, alien invasion, flying saucers or whatever nonsense have been programming us since the 1950s, at least, for this thing to happen. Through the media, television, radio, etc. When was the War of the Worlds first broadcast on radio? Was that 30s, 40s? Probably 40s, thinking about it. And that caused mass panic and I think a few people died even due to the panic. And then that could tie in, the alien invasion, I mean, could tie in also with the many underground bases that have been, and are being dug right now. Very locally to here, 10 miles away, there is a mine being sunk, as they refer to it, when you're putting the shaft down for the first time. I'm no miner, but I think something like that. I've heard it referred to as sinking the shaft down into the whatever mineral strata or whatever they're after. And in this case, it's supposedly polyhalite, which is a fertilizer that runs alongside potash. There is a potash mine that's been active since the 70s, the early 70s, I think. Not far away from that one. Again, it's about 10 miles in a different direction from where I'm sitting now. And so, yes, this thing, I know for a fact that the potash mine is just that. It's a potash mine. And they have found polyhalite, discovered that this substance is a very good fertilizer for grass in particular. And much of the world eats grass, as in rice, because that's all it is really. And so they're going to feed the world with this new thing. Well, I'm definitely opposed to it. Not opposed to feeding the world, by the way, but there are much better methods to do that, in my opinion. So the digging this, sinking this shaft, digging the mine, and news flash, if you are local, the promise, the payoff for doing all this horrible disruption that it's caused in the local vicinity, was that local people would be provided with fairly decent jobs, like another shackle round their neck. But hey, money, what can we do with that, I wonder? So it was given the all clear, or at least it won in a vote, and it was started. Money was taken from people who invested, in buying shares, and then, of course, it was crashed, and then it went up again. So money was made in that little scam from the off. But now I have it on fairly good authority. I say fairly, I mean good authority, actually, that people who work there, who have been sacked, they say, oh, being laid off, but they've been paid off. This chap in particular, who I know, has had a payment of £58,000, and he called it hush money, and they're drafting in foreign workforce, mostly from Germany, apparently. Now, I don't know whether it's because they have skill and expertise. You can find it in the UK. You don't have to go anywhere for that. For that particular job, mining. Hey, we've been mining this land for centuries, and the modern techniques. What happened to all those coal mines? Who sunk the shafts for that initial project? Of West Yorkshire, South Yorkshire. This is North Yorkshire where I am, so it's not far away that they've been doing all that. And just around here, ironstone mines. I mean, I'm going back 100 years or more. But this is a mining region. So there's no need, in my opinion, to get the labour from elsewhere, especially as far away as Germany. It may not be far away in the big scheme, but it's a long way from just around here, isn't it? Plus, when these people come over, they'll need accommodation. So, one or two bed and breakfast places might be rubbing their hands, but they'll have to pay them probably extra to do that. And the German workforce, in particular, I don't think are used to small wages. I think there's a standard set in that country that's as high, if not higher, than in the UK. So it's not as if there'd be cheap labour. That's what I'm getting at. So your mind sort of drifts away into, oh, that's the fan going on, Dory. Drifts away into what is this thing for? And apparently they've been at this mine now for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, and they haven't sunk the shaft. What's going on? And apparently they're digging a tunnel, the longest tunnel. I think there's only one as long, or just maybe a bit longer, a bit shorter, in the world, and that's in Mexico, or around that sort of area. That does the same job. It's supposed to have a conveyor in it and to transport the product from 30 miles away to a T-port, anyway, port in the sea where it can be exported. And the thing about this polyhalite is it doesn't need processing, or very little processing. So you don't need to big plants to heat it up, and all you have to do, all the process that potash requires, this doesn't. So all you need to do is dig it out and send it to where it's going, more or less. Now, is this just a place for everybody to run to when the aliens invade? That's what I'm getting at, of course. I don't know. It's all speculation from my part, all of it. But it just makes you think a bit. And I know that people, the globe believers, of course, are primed for this. They're just waiting for it to happen, really. And possibly we've softened people up. We've got rid of a lot of people by them wearing ventilators and whatever. Killed a lot of people off. I know they have in the last couple of years. Not due to any virus, but due to the malpractice of and ignorance of other people. There you go. What can you do about that? People are gullible. People will accept the perceived authorities' word on things and toe the line. They'll follow that. The sheeple. They'll just lemmings, lambs to the slaughter, whatever you like to call them. So anyway, that's it. Just an idea. If you're listening, Mike, we're there. We're almost back on, and a little surprise as well coming up. If I can arrange it, which sounds good. And that's about it, really. For those who believe in the ball, there won't be many of you watching this, I suppose, but I don't know what to say to you. Really, it's probably too late to say do your own research, and because you just dismiss anything that people like me will say on that subject, or indeed on probably any subject now, because it undermines your standing, I think, and that's why people who do come forward and present themselves have much respect from me, because I know from personal experience what that can do to one's, standing in society. So, but do I care? Not a bit. And that's how you must confront this. Anyway, I know it's been some time, but that's how it goes. I've been very busy recently, and yeah, so see ya.
1, 2, 3, now. Racing to it all the time. Where's the fast forward? Where's the rewind? Where's the fast forward? Where's the rewind? There's always some kind of what part of blue tide where do you come from? I'm falling out of the sky. To know the answer to your question. The only answer is contrary. I've got a pain behind the eyes. I've been thinking, double talking. I've got a pain behind the eyes. There's always some kind of conundrum. What part of the time where do you come from? I'm falling out of the sky. My mind is racing to it all the time. Where's the fast forward? Where's the rewind? Where's the fast forward? Where's the rewind? There's always some kind of what part of good time where do you come from? There's a all on the sky. That was